Today is the once a month new moon celebration on the lunar calendar for the Hebrews. And we're celebrating the month of Issachar, and Iyar is the name of the month. Okay? For this second month, the word is Vav, and it means connecting or linking. So I'm on page 264. So this 264 to a few pages over to 276 are the pages in this book that talk about this month. Okay. So tonight at sunset, the celebration is thanking God for last month and being excited about looking forward to the new moon. Him shining his light in darkness. It's not a weird spiritual holiday, or it's not a new agey kind of thing. It's the Lord created the heavens and the earth, and we're just thankful that we have gravity, and He creates a whole new month of new days for us. The characteristics to celebrate and be mindful of this month are natural healing manifests, dealing with processing thoughts, dealing with the conscience of the soul, and receiving spiritual advice. This is a time to contemplate numbers, whether they come by a dream or a vision or divine revelation. The constellation is Taurus, the bull, looking and observing to find a place of strength. So, we're talking about astronomy, not astrology. God made the constellations and put them in the stars, in the sky, and that's the map that He would lead His people through with. So the tribe of this month is Issachar, and so Issachar understood the times and seasons. So it's a time to understand secrets of the Lord. So it's a good month to plan your intimacy with the Lord and carve out time to get away with Him and hear His secrets and jot down dreams if you have them while you're asleep at night. The color in stone, because the breastplate had all 12 tribes of Israel and they each had a different stone, is royal blue and lapis, which I didn't think of this, but I'm actually wearing a lapis ring today. This is lapis. I didn't plan it. It was just what I felt like wearing today. So that's lapis. It kind of looks like the ocean, sort of the way it is. So Iyar is the second month, the second of 12 months, the Jewish calendar in the Bible. The month of Iyar is often called the month of Ziv, meaning radiance. This month is commonly referred to as the month of natural healing. Its name is an acronym for I am your healer. That's fun. Do any of you need healing or need to have seeds of faith sown for the word, what the word says? For healing, either emotional healing or physical healing. Brad is waving his arms behind the camera over there. So this is the month to really hunker down and get in that place with the Lord and read the word so that we can get the word of faith in us, so that we can get a trust that is solid with the Lord for healing, since that's what this month is about. Iyar is associated with the tribe of Issachar, which is known for its anointing to understand the times and to understand the secrets. So I want to bring out, especially for those on the video, that the email's going out for who all attended that Saturday of the read-through. Page 264 is what we're reading right now about the month of Iyar, but I also want to encourage you to go back and read about the tribe of Issachar, which starts on page 222. Okay, and that way you're reading both about the month that we're starting today with Rosh Chodesh, as well as the tribe that led in that order. Last month was Judah, and when they were camping in the wilderness, they set up camp in an order of all 12 tribes. And the order is also linked to the order of the months on the Hebrew calendar. So that's why we're paying attention to the times and seasons, not only of this month on the Hebrew calendar, but of the tribe it corresponds to. So, as I just read, the tribe of Issachar is linked to this month. It's known for its anointing to understand the times and to understand the secrets. This month is linked to light, which it signifies increased revelation. Light is the opposite of darkness. If darkness tries to overtake you this month, say no, I'm increasing in revelation. And that's from Isaiah 60. It says that the glory can be seen on you and radiates off of you. Hello. This is the month you need to light up with his glory. So we're studying Iyar and Issachar. The month of Iyar and the tribe of Issachar. To understand Iyar, we can look at what happened to Israel coming out of Egypt. Nisan, the first month, was the month leaving Egypt. And Sivan, the third month, was the month they arrived in Sinai and the Torah was given. So Iyar, in the middle here, is a month of transition, which pictures the journey from Egypt to Mount Sinai. That very important transition involved much more than the geographical change. God's people were transitioning to a new level of their relationship with him during this time. He began to reveal his covenant secrets to him. Last month, in the email that I sent out to everyone who was able to attend and was involved and received this book in our congregation for our book read, I taunted you guys to read ahead to see what the other tribes were. So because all of the tribes in the way that they were organized in the desert, in the wilderness, were in threes. And so we have Judah, Issachar, and the next tribe. And I wanted to challenge you and dare you guys to read ahead to see what's coming down the pike for the first quarter of the year. Because if we're following along with that, the Lord's going to give us insight and revelation of how to celebrate and to honor the Lord in this month, according to his time and seasons. And so, being that this month is about intimacy and healing and revelation, get with God and ask him, what do you want? What revelation do you want to pour out? What new wisdom and insight do you want to give me this month, so that I can honor you and celebrate you this month? And ask him, what is your first fruits offering that you want me to give you this month as we celebrate Iyar? And the reason why it's revelatory in intimacy with the Lord is because the tribe of Issachar is a tribe which is known for understanding the times and the seasons, which is exactly what we're doing by practicing this on a monthly basis. When Israel passed out of Egypt, they knew they were God's people, but they didn't know much about God. They had no Bible. All they had were a few stories passed down from the generations about how God appeared to Abraham. They also had gossip, because people talked about, oh, the Hebrews don't have to deal with this. Oh, the God of the Hebrews are this and that. And you know what the God of the Hebrews do for the Hebrews? So it was an oral tradition that could also be considered, word of mouth. When Moses led Israel through the Red Sea, they traveled into the desert for 3 days without finding water. Finally, they came out in the oasis of Moriah, but the water was too bitter to drink. 2 million people in the middle of the wilderness with no water to drink created a serious situation. So the people grumbled against Moses, saying, "What are we to drink?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord and showed him a piece of wood. God was saying, "Moses, let me tell you a secret. I can heal bitter water." I think that's kind of interesting, that's one of the first things they needed to deal with when they got out of captivity and started a journey of new was to have to deal with the water system for the people. And one of the first miracles that Jesus performed in the New Testament was turning water into wine. And I want to challenge you to pray and obey about this one, but if you're wanting to step in line with this, I think it's kind of interesting that we have an opportunity for our first fruits offering to give to the ICANN Children's Village, because we have an opportunity to hunker down and get our own water well on the location of the village so that we can have sustainable water on the property there in Soweto, South Africa. Interesting timing, right?
Yes.
Very interesting. So this is God not only saying, these are my traditions from Old Testament celebrations of the month and Old Testament organization of how we want the tribes to align while we're encamped, but this is current to right now today with Angel Fire saying, hey, let's get some sustainable water. We have an opportunity for only $20,000 to have our own water, to dig our own well on the property and get our own water. So pray about that. I'm not going to read the rest of this. I just want to give you a teaser of what pages to read in this book if you want to stay on track and online, with today being the new moon in the sky, and if you want to stay on track with what we were really trying to endeavor to honor the Lord and his Sabbaths, his weekly Sabbaths, his monthly celebrations, and his annual celebrations, because that's where the blessings flow. It's one thing to be God's people as a Jew, it's another thing to be God's people as Gentiles, but there's a blessing that comes when we step into alignment with doing things God's way. We reap what we sow, whether we believe God is real or not, because that's a principle the Lord has in orbit, like in like gravity. It's in our world. We deal with it every day. And so part of receiving the blessing is stepping into alignment with his ways, and that's why we were so gung-ho on celebrating a weekly day of rest and a monthly celebration of the new moon, as far as God's calendar goes, and then the annual celebrations of all of the feasts. God is a God who has a good work ethic, but he also wants you to party and rest. And so that's why we want to honor him once a week on the Sabbath, and pray about where to take the Sabbath, what to do on the Sabbath, what's going to give us refreshment in our relationship with him. And we want to do that monthly. And today is the monthly celebration of that. And then we didn't talk about it last month, but last month was a celebration of Passover. Yeah, we celebrated Easter, but really that was Passover. And so as you continue to go through these chapters on a monthly basis, I want to encourage you to look ahead at the annual celebrations so that we can strategically, intentionally, and proactively prepare to get with God and say, okay, how do you want me to celebrate this annual celebration coming up? I think Shavuot is coming up in the end of May or June. So that might be something you might want to do some research on of how to do that as we celebrate the tribe of Issachar this month and the month of Iyar. So bless you guys.
Amen. Wow. Wow. I got to do this. Wait a minute.